Hey everyone, Sari here, and welcome to the second of Eunie's Super Boss duels. Her build hasn't changed from what she used to take down Grandeps. The accelerated recharge from critical hits, doubled while she has the boss's attention, allows her to loop through the different evasion arts that the Full Metal Jaguar class gives her access to. It's a powerful setup when played carefully. While Eunie is normally unhittable when cancelling one evasion art into the next, the variance in recharge rates can easily throw off the rhythm if you aren't careful. Things like terrain and spacing can cause problems too. Perilwing Ryuho wound up being a particularly annoying step up from Grandeps. The area is full of problematic terrain for fighting in, such as the lake that he flies down over when you begin the rematch. He does roam around in a large circuit though, letting you intercept him in an area you're more comfortable fighting in. I used the cliff directly opposite from where he appears. It's a relatively flat surface without other creatures roaming around, making it easier to focus on the boss and avoid getting stuck on small ledges. While I didn't do it for this fight, it's also possible to get Ryuho stuck just off the edge of the cliff while you fight him, which makes things significantly easier. Getting his attention before he flies back over the terrain seems to do it consistently. He'll still be able to use all of his attacks, but he'll typically stay in one place for them, instead of darting around the battlefield. Just watch your step. It can be easy to tip over the edge of the cliff yourself. The start of the fight is pretty standard. As with Grandeps, Eunie's party is mostly just here to spectate. Using Noah in the Troubadour class with a Perilous Presence gem equipped makes the opening seconds saved a bit more consistent by fully recharging her arts. Although a certain healer hero wound up keeping them all on their feet a lot longer than they would have liked, giving Eunie a few more resets to work with. Just the price of angling for a particular bit of battle music. Slippery though our support is, Ryuho does eventually manage to cleave the party down and turn the fight into a proper 1v1. It's also right around here that he starts to use Frost Cannon. This attack is the most dangerous part of the fight when using this build, and he uses it pretty frequently. While it can be dodged like any other attack, the projectiles have a nasty tendency to ignore evasion if they connect with Eunie during an attack cancel. While that window is small, all it takes is one wave of the barrage to connect, to knock Eunie out and force her to start over from the beginning. With that in mind, this boss requires you to have a much better sense of the current status of your evasion arts than Grandeps. Frost Cannon doesn't have much of a wind-up time, so you need to be keeping an eye on the top of the screen to watch for it instead of being able to focus on the art palette at the bottom. A Fatal Barrage Fusion is the ideal way to avoid the entire attack, as long as you let the animation play out instead of cancelling it, but the other options can all work in a pinch, with the right timing. You can also continue cancelling during Frost Cannons if you're confident. As long as you weave the cancel in between the individual waves of the attack, the evasion arts will handle the rest. I've found it's much more consistent to let the animation play out, though, even if it means needing to restart your cancel chain afterwards. Once you've locked down Frost Cannon, Ryuho pulls out one last trick to try and throw you off balance. While Hyperion Ray isn't too difficult to evade, it can let the boss move a pretty long distance to another part of the battlefield, and potentially out of range of your attacks. That can be really dangerous for this build. The boss has a much longer reach than any of Eunie's evasion arts, which can let him sneak in a knockout if you don't react quickly. It's worth pointing out, though, that this isn't so dangerous if you can use the terrain to your advantage. The attack can get stuck on the various rocks in the area and hold him in place, and something similar happens if you manage to fight him while he's off the edge of the cliff.